The entire outstanding balance for all advances made by the liquidity fairy under the Bank Term Funding Program as of this past week was $161 billion. Well, the Federal Reserve has just raised interest rates on the BTFP program that we previously touched on, the emergency lending program that was created to support regional banks. Rate increases are effective immediately, but the Fed says they will be ending the program March 11th. No ifs, ands, or buts. So we may just see a catastrophe during the springtime or a little bit sooner. Rates on new loans will be no lower than the rate on reserve balances. Usage of this emergency lending program has gone in a straight line higher, yet the program is set to expire in 2 months. Let's see what happens. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have a lot of stuff to cover, as well as the T+1 that just got issued, and we're going to touch on it. All I ask you guys to do, of course, is to please hit the like button on the video. It helps me out. Get this video to 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel. We are just brushing 18,000 subscribers. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, there is an upcoming transition to T+1 standard securities settlement cycle in May of 2024. NSCC proposed a rule change amendment to modify the stock options as well as future settlement agreement and make related revisions to the NSCC rules. Back in August of 2023, there were these rules, and the rule changes would, 1, modify the stock options and future settlement agreement dated August 5th, 2017 between NSCC and Options Clearing Corporation, as well as 2, make certain revisions to Rule 18 procedure, 3, and Addendum K of the NSCC rules and procedures in connection with the proposed modifications of the Accord. But now there is something new that just got issued. January 24th, 2024, they just filed an amendment to the initial filing, which supersedes and replaces basically everything in the entirety. So now the NSCC is coming out and saying, hey, the initial filing is dust. You can call that quits, and the rules to facilitate the upcoming transition to T+1 standard security settlement cycle is now May 2024, and that will be in effect. So we have March potential rate cuts, March the Bank Term Funding Program ending, as well as banks just doing not too hot as well. Today, the US debt has reached an all-time high, and now T+1 is coming to the market. Finally, a former SEC acting chair member has joined the fight against naked short selling as well, so it is good to see more and more people hop on the train to fight against naked short selling. Finally, AMC short interest risen according to Ortex, and we pay attention to the trend. 10.32% short interest over here on Ortex, and as of January 15th of this year, 24,104,314 million shares were sold short that we can see, which is the highest recorded short interest since the reverse split and the conversion over on AMC, and this is just what is reported. Finally, before we get into the charts, GameStop has been closing basically useless stores that are acting as basically liabilities, and they're not going to be showing on the quarterly report, just to prep you for GameStop stores closing headlines acting as bad news, pushing a negative narrative, but GameStop holders, just know that this is actually positive news. AMC has 1.6 million shares available to borrow against it according to Stockle Tracker, and the call to put ratio, we are losing by about an 11,000 contract difference between 21,000 puts and 9,000 calls expiring in the money, and then a ton of premium going to market makers expiring out of the money. Short exempt volume was extremely high over the past week and finally started lower a little bit, 127,000, which is still very high for any stock day in and day out. GameStop, 80,000 shares available to borrow, calls 2,000, puts 3,000, both expiring in the money, and then more betting bullish as well, premium going to market makers. Short exempts high on GameStop over the past 2 days, and then honestly before that has been pretty high as well. So the past week, they are really hammering AMC and GameStop down. And yesterday, just when we thought short sellers were losing collateral, losing the easy money that they were getting over in the China indexes, it seems as if they may have just gotten it back with Tesla, and we're going to talk about that elephant in the room a little bit later. AMC 414 up 0.24% on a day. Chop trading, barcoding, not something we want to see. This overall is what we're looking at. We are looking at the 3-hour time frame. We usually don't take a look at this time frame. This is the cycle we were tracking, and then you see this little part where we're at right now. Okay, it didn't break below the overall trend line, so it's still good to see. This is correlated to this previous cycle right here, and we would be trading right here. Okay, it's not playing exact, it's playing very, very similarly. I wouldn't say anything is invalidated quite yet unless we broke below the previous low, which is around $4. Okay, so as of right now, nothing is invalidated. I don't think we should see a flash down to 365 just because I said a flash down, not a slow crawl down to 365. That's not something we wanted to see. But again, this is where we're tracking right now, and AMC is not really moving itself. Based on the overall market, we should see a moon very, very soon. Looking at GameStop, there's a couple things we want to look at. You could say it hit a double bottom right here and is climbing higher, so you want to see volume pick up to potentially see GameStop scale even higher, which is a possibility. It also is bouncing in this demand zone, which is a good thing to see. We don't want to see GameStop stay in there too long. Looking at the previous cycles for GameStop, you come down from the high, you have this consolidation phase before pushing lower, and each and every single time it's about 30% lower for the previous cycles. So this consolidation phase to this consolidation phase down to this one would be another 30% drop, which means, in my opinion, GameStop, if it were to play through another cycle, would come down between $11 and $13 and consolidate before making another low into that last cycle in May. This would be the worst case scenario. And in this would be Fed doesn't cut rates or they raise rates and the markets absolutely tank. Less likely scenario, and then AMC and GameStop follow as well as other plays. But just keep this on your radar, right? As of right now, it is still bullish on GameStop on the shorter time frame, but that is the possibility that we are watching. Now, the elephant in the room, Tesla, as well as the overall market and crypto, we are about to jump into. But before we get into that, guys, if you're not in the Discord already, the link is the second link under the video. This is all I ask. It's a coffee a month or a tea a month. Well worth it. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is the place to go. Come talk stocks as well as crypto with the most amazing people. Also, I'm in there on the daily and I post my trades. So if you want to come in here and be like, Lottery Stocks, what you said in this video, what do you think about this stock? Whatever it may be, just hop in. It's like a big group chat. Also, guys, first link, if you've signed up already, make sure to deposit into your account. Your money's insured, a huge percentage with zero risk, and you're getting free stocks. Use my link, sign up for Moomoo, and make a deposit. Plus, you're getting a ton of other benefits from there, like level 2 order book data that you have to pay for on other platforms, so you can see where whales are loading up and dropping off of your favorite stocks, as well as viewing other exchanges, going long, going short, trading options as a retail trader, and more. Moving on, U.S. jobless claims rise 214,000, estimated at 200 and previously 189,000. Now, the SPY, 487.71, up 0.48% on the day. Taking a look at this in the shorter term, we do, believe it or not, have a gap fill very, very close down to around 482.75, right? 482.70. It's a very, very tight gap, but it is there. And as of right now, yesterday was pretty decent. And overall, the SPY is still showing strength. Even if we do get a slight pullback, I don't see the steam stopping unless we see a major bearish catalyst. So as of right now, medium to longer term calls or just loading up dollar cost averaging on the SPY, not a bad idea. Although keep in mind, if you're going to dollar cost average, it is at all-time highs, which is something you might not want to do unless you're investing for 30 plus years. But overall, good for our short squeeze plays when the market is climbing. But Tesla, what the hell happened with Tesla? It is down 10.73%, 185.53, getting absolutely slaughtered. Down a ton of money on Tesla. And as of right now, we're going to evaluate. Reevaluating everything. Looking at Tesla for the macro perspective, this is what we see. This is the bearish case scenario I have drawn out. Touch point here, 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 and then here, and then we just touched it here in the blue at 186 in this descending channel. With that being said, Tesla would climb back up to around 230 from this level and then sell off further. This would be bearish case scenario, coming down and filling a gap all the way down here around 146, and then worst case scenario, long term, filling another gap around 114, and then another gap down to 74, lower and lower for Tesla if it were to climb lower. Now, there are a couple things to keep in mind. Before we get into those, you see the top of the channel. Test, 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 and test. Now, the bull case scenario would be Tesla enters the cycle that we have been tracking, which was around this zone, which is what you'd be looking at. First climb, second climb, consolidation, climb again. First climb, second climb, consolidation, except this sold off instead of consolidating on the earnings, and then rip again. The rip higher was supposed to bring us into March, Okay, and as of right now, that would be the less likely scenario. It is showing bear strength as of right now, but this could be the potential bottom for Tesla. I just want to give you the bull and bear perspective of Tesla. Now, keep in mind, Tesla is still the EV leader. They did cut costs, and if the Fed ends up cutting rates in March, this is going to be a bullish catalyst for Tesla and could catapult it higher, because this is a stock, as Elon says, that, hey, correlates with interest rates, right? Interest rate sensitive play here. Elon had to cut prices. They cut rates. Elon's going to get more competitive. Tesla's going to catapult higher. It's going to be a bull catalyst. But as of right now, bears are winning on this. Shorts are making a ton of money on this. This was the stock shorts have lost the most money on, and now they may just be gaining it back. And speaking of Tesla, Tesla reveals none of their $435 million worth of Bitcoin was sold in Q4 of 2023, which is bullish for Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, still fighting this resistance level at 40K. I did buy more Bitcoin. Overall, just watching it into the halving. Don't want to spend too much time on it. Google to allow Bitcoin and crypto ads from the 29th of January of 2024. Some sprinkles on top. Microsoft to lay off 1,900 Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox employees. And finally, here are the earnings after the close tonight. You have INTC and a few other important ones as well. Last but not least, Vera, ticker symbol VERA. We played over on the trading challenge today, and boom, another gain like you saw. This is an account funded by Frenetically themselves. You can copy my trades with the click of a button. You get an alert and your broker executes it. No other content creator is doing this. If you're not following the trading challenge, it's the third link under the video. Sign up for Frenetically and then follow me. Just type my name in, lottery stocks, follow me, and you will get my trade alerts as soon as I take them if you want to join the challenge. Bang, another gain for the day, sitting at 377.75. That is it, guys. I love you all. Join the Discord, get your free stocks. Make sure to sign up and make a deposit. I love you all. Lottery stocks out.